Hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. How are you? Welcome. I am so happy you are here. Today is Wednesday, August 14th. Oh my gosh. I'm leaving tomorrow to go to the States for 2 whole months, which is crazy. So getting packed and getting all ready. If you are here, let me know if you can see and hear me okay. And I'd love to hear for anyone who is here, just where you are calling from and who's with us today. Um, yeah, who you work with, anything about you. So feel free to type it in the chat if you want. Yes, I'm super excited to have you here today. This is a topic I'm really, really passionate about. So, today we're going to be talking about how to turn your website into a client attracting machine. So, before we get into it, welcome. If you are new to my world, I'm Emma and I'm a business strategist for therapists. And I help really impact driven, ambitious therapists create private practices that just support their freedom, their lifestyle, allow them to charge a high fee in their practice, and have time, location, freedom, and self care. I really believe that as therapists, we give so much, we work so hard, we change people's lives. And what I help therapists do is really showcase their brilliance so that private pay clients are attracted to them and then they can charge those higher fees and have fuller practices. So I have been fully remote myself since 2020. I've been private pay since about 2021. I also live in Mexico and I travel the world and I help my clients do that as well. And I coach and see clients from wherever I am. So if you are serious about growing a private pay practice, book a call with me. I'll put a link to that in the comments of this if you would like to do that. So let's go ahead and get into it. So how to turn your website into a client attracting machine. So many of you know already that you need a great website in order to bring in private pay clients into your practice. Your website is this awesome free marketing tool that you own. It's not going to go away, and you can't suddenly lose your website like you can suddenly lose like an Instagram account or a TikTok account, and you can't suddenly lose like all your followers or something like that in the same way. Obviously, you have to pay for a website to kind of keep it up, but it's very cheap. It's this amazing thing that, clients can find and come to you when they are ready for therapy. And your website is also the first impression that prospective clients and referral sources may have of you. And you know that having a good one is the key to not having to spend all your time marketing and running around, because it drives clients to you and makes you the clear, irresistible choice for them when it is a great website. So you know that it needs to be good to draw in these private pay clients. But for a lot of my clients, there's so much information out there about what to do. So for example, so for some of my clients, they come to me and they are struggling because maybe they have hired someone to do their SEO or to just build their website, or they've rented one through like a Brighter Vision or something like that. It's felt so intimidating. They don't really know what to do. They don't know how to do the copy. And so this feels like a logical choice, right? Like to just kind of outsource this to someone who knows. However, the problem with this is that sometimes those websites, especially if we're hiring someone who isn't an expert in mental health and isn't an expert in our niches, those websites can come out looking very generic. And I say the healing winding river. And maybe there's lots of keywords sort of stuffed in about anxiety or about depression or individual therapy or things like that, or sort of these generic keywords that we don't really want to think about ranking for, because we know our niche, we know them, we can do the research into what they are searching for, and it's important that we do that research. So it can be really confusing to understand after we've invested time and money, like why this thing isn't working, why it's not getting the right people calling us, or maybe it's not really getting anyone calling us at all. So these kind of generic websites, these generic therapist websites, they really don't allow us to stand out as the super-powered, awesome provider that we are. And this is, again, it's something I see a lot. Like people are spending thousands of dollars on SEO help only to see no real return on that investment, or thousands of dollars on a website build only to feel like it's kind of generic and it's not really getting calls. And when we stuff with keywords as well, like clients can kind of read that and see that, and they are turned off by that. So another bad thing I wanted to mention with this too is that sometimes these people can kind of buy backlinks for us, and this can either hurt our status on Google and hurt us, or it can really just like not help our SEO. Google can really penalize us for doing stuff like buying backlinks, which you're not supposed to do. So this was the case with one of my clients, when she came to me. She hired someone to do the SEO on her website, but the person, she had no idea really what they did. It didn't really make a difference. And the person, we figured out through kind of doing some research that the person had bought some weird backlinks and maybe had done a couple keyword things, but it had not done anything, and it maybe had penalized her actually a little bit. So on the one hand, you might be in this camp of like, I'll just hire it out, or you maybe have tried to hire it out and not really seen good results. Or maybe you're on the other hand, like I was, and you've spent hours scouring the internet to learn SEO tips along with learning a website building platform to create your own website. But you feel like your website kind of feels clunky, or maybe like not very visually appealing. And you know some stuff about SEO because you've like looked at some articles, or you've done maybe some free trainings about it, but you worry that it's not fully optimized for SEO. And you also worry maybe about some of the tech stuff, like, is this optimized for a mobile device? Are my images the right size? Is this properly indexed on Google? And all the stuff that feels sort of very confusing, as well as, am I doing keyword research correctly? Am I putting things where they need to go? How do I tell if this is starting to get noticed by my ideal client or not? So I was really in this position. So I've told this story on here before. For the first, I would say like 3 years of my practice, I had the worst website. Like it was a bunch of European pictures of gates, because my website was named Gate to the Festival from a Rumi poem. And you could tell what I did, like if I was a therapist or like a gate salesman or something. Like it was so clunky. It was a GoDaddy site. It was so bad. And so for years, I had this thing that I could have been utilizing in such a better way. But I really did not get calls from my website. They were all referrals. And once I did work on my website and learned about how to make websites really beautiful and really draw in your ideal client and be better optimized for SEO, my website started to act as this tool for me that drew clients to me, where I was getting calls while I slept. So this was something I really had to learn, and this is why I'm so passionate about sharing it with you all now. Like, that your website is important, but hiring someone out just to do it and kind of taking it off your plate, as well as just trying to kind of wing it without the right information, are both things that are probably wasting you time and money that you could be spending seeing clients, talking to clients on the phone and things like that, and really refining your messaging and your superpowers and becoming known as the expert in your niche as well. So this is also not uncommon at all. I just want to normalize this, like with me, with my clients, with what I see. I can't tell you how many incredibly gifted therapists I see and work with who are not really converting clients with their website before they come in. despite spending like a ton of time and or money on the site. And all that stress and work and money and watching tons of videos and tutorials, it's only led to feeling so stressed with like this tech SEO gibberish that you're ready to throw your computer at the wall. Has anyone felt that way? Because I definitely did for a long time. Or hemorrhaging thousands on web and SEO services that really did nothing for you. Or another thing I see a lot is tons of these wrong fit clients calling. And this can often happen when either we run Google Ads sort of indiscriminately, or we just hire out either renting a website or having someone build our website. Like our website might start to show up, but it's not getting those right fit clients. So we're getting tons of clients that maybe we don't want to work with, who aren't our ideal clients. Yeah, Neely, I hear you, stuck in a rut, not moving forward at all. And, you know, it can definitely get that way where it's like this overwhelm with all the info and kind of what to do that we sort of feel stuck with like, okay, how do I move forward with this thing? Like, what is the best course of action? Do I hire someone? Do I try and learn this? What do I do to make this website brilliant? So as we've talked about, the truth is a lot of web and tech companies are just overstuffing your website with clunky keywords, and they don't really know how to talk about mental health concepts or draw out and explain your unique genius. Even if they are like a mental health kind of company or whatever, they often don't understand your unique brilliance or what you bring to it. Like they might not understand the way you do business from, you know, kind of a spiritual perspective, or maybe the intricacies of how you use brain spotting with moms to heal trauma. Like even if they have a mental health background and some knowledge of mental health, bringing out your superpowers is not something they know how to do, because only you really know that. And that's something we work on in my program together. And also another part of this is you were never taught how to build a website that is optimized for SEO and also displays you as this rock star therapist who understands your client's pain and is empathetic and is really the perfect person to help them, which you are. So the more time and money and all of that you pour into your website without a clear strategy for drawing your ICA to your page and getting them to stay on your page by having that amazing content on it, it's only going to really lead to more of these results you don't want. So results like a clunky website that isn't optimized for SEO and never really gets found. This is, again, like my Gate website was very much like this. Or a bland website that doesn't really express your brilliance and your superpowers and draws in the wrong fit clients or draws in really no clients at all. Yeah, totally. Ignorant to website design and SEO with wildly different quotes. Absolutely, Neely. Yeah, I've definitely encountered that too. So building a website without strategy, it equals missing out on a central and powerful marketing tool in your practice and no new client calls to your practice or those wrong fit clients calling. So you need to be building a website in the right way, both to attract your ideal clients to your site, so to build up the SEO that allows them to find you. And this is a long-term strategy. It's not something that happens overnight where you'll, put some keywords on there and then you'll instantly get found. So you want to build that part up, but you also want to have this and these are interrelated, so they're not separate things. And I think oftentimes it feels like they're separate things, but they're really interrelated. You also want to have this amazing, compelling copy that showcases your understanding of these clients and your distinct and unique ability to empathize with them and help them, and your qualities as a therapist, in order to keep those clients on your site reading and really excited to work with you and seeing you as this expert that they have really been wanting in their lives. So, okay, and this is again, it's what, I call this my Google discussion strategy, helping clients build these beautiful websites that speak to their ideal clients and convey each of my clients' unique personalities and superpowers as a therapist, and also to be optimized by their ideal clients. And I empower my clients to know how to do these things themselves so that they can assess what's going on and make changes where they need to, and research, okay, what's happening, what are clients clicking on, what are they not clicking on, how much is this coming up, how much is it not coming up, so that you feel in control and like you have agency in all of this. So this is what eventually, obviously there is a time it takes to build all this and for your website to start getting found. But this is what allows you to not have to spend hours marketing, to not worry about where your clients are going to come from, and to eventually become known as the expert in your niche. And the formula for it is really simple. So I call it my superpower, the superpower messaging that I'm talking about, which we work really hard on in my program to get amazing for you, plus a findable website. It becomes a free marketing tool that's going to draw in clients to you for years to come while you sleep. So the first step of this is the superpower messaging part. So we want to focus on both the making of your website to be really visually appealing and speaking to your ideal client, both through how it's kind of laid out and the pictures it has and the way things are broken up, and also through the writing. Like we really want it to be speaking to the things they are going through and showing empathy for them, and also a knowledge of what they want, of what their desires are as well. So we do this together through getting crystal clear and researching together how your ideal clients search for therapy and conceptualize their problem. We also work together on drawing out your own superpowers as a therapist and showing your ideal clients that you are the clear and obvious choice for them. You are the expert in what they need, because you are, but oftentimes there's like this proximity genius where we're so close to our own superpowers and our own, abilities as a therapist that it's hard for us to see it ourselves. So this is something I help with. Then we blend this into beautiful copy on your website that is broken up in such a way to be visually appealing and keep clients on your page. And I give you a template for this that you can literally kind of paste your text and your pictures into to modify and obviously make it unique to you, but to make it really easy for you to do the layout of your website, to know that there's at least sort of like visually it's optimized for, being found and also keeping clients on your page. And I personally review everything on there to make sure it's golden, and I give you feedback about where you can optimize. And then I show you also like where to put what on your website to be optimized to rank on Google. I teach you important SEO concepts about how to research keywords, like I was saying, where to put them on your site, and how to optimize your blogs for SEO and also to get found. And we also optimize your tech SEO, because this is a huge part of it as well that is something that you often can't do on your own. So I have a tech professional optimize the site speed, the mobile, I have them optimize it for mobile devices, index the pages on your website, compress those images, make sure it's running efficiently and there aren't any broken links and things like that. So when you have this killer website that speaks to your ideal client and is really optimized for SEO, you can eventually reach the top page of Google and have a steady stream of clients for years to come. It's a marketing strategy that really doesn't require much from you once you put in this initial work. And when you set yourself up with it, you really will hardly need to market your practice to stay full. So it is a way of playing the long game to have clients coming to you for years to come. So like myself, for example, my website reached the top of spot on Google, and I get multiple client calls to my practice per week without really having to do anything. And I, have kept up with things like blogging and stuff like that for years, which is something I teach my clients to do, but I haven't really done much of that for a while now, and that's something, it still works for me. So once you have this really set up, it can be this amazing tool for you. Or like my client Kayla, for instance, who had her website live for just 2 weeks before she started getting client calls. Or my client A, mentioned above, who totally redid her site and filled her practice and went to travel the world, and now she sees clients while she is in Europe traveling. Or my client Laura, who tweaked her website a little bit and got 2 new clients calls the week after not getting any interest for months. So that is why my liberated practice method focuses on this Google to Session strategy as a key piece for getting more client referrals without wasting a ton of time or money with trying to be visible everywhere to everyone. So I walk you through exactly in this strategy what to do to change your website so that you get the biggest return for your time you spend on it. So this is part of one of the pillars of my liberated practice formula. And this is the pillar of establishing success, where we establish you as a successful provider through things like your website. Because success isn't something you just kind of fall into, you have to build it. And establish it. So what we are doing is really through this establishing you again as that trusted and coveted expert in your niche and in your field. And we are working on bringing that out together on your website so that it's not this generic run-of-the-mill thing. Because as we've talked about before in other videos, clients who are willing to pay out of pocket for therapy, they're not looking for a generic person. They are looking for an expert. And so this is why this establishing success is so important, because we really focus on establishing you as this amazing provider with your messaging and all of that, and your website and all of that stuff. We establish the foundation so that you are set up. Additionally, this is a part of another pillar of my formula, which is called Kismet Findability, where we focus on how to get you found by your ideal clients without you needing to burn yourself out or be visible everywhere. And so with Kismet Findability, we're focusing on things like making your SEO, really optimized and amazing, coming up with who your ideal referral partners are so that you're not just networking with like everyone under the sun and all the chiropractors and doctors and other providers that have access to your ideal client, but you're finding those people who are the people who are going to refer to you long term, and you're establishing relationships with them. And so I talked about this last week. This is the superpower networking. This is the proactive networking that we do in the program. And then I teach you what to do with creating content and like how to optimize your content to get it found by people in your network, and also how to have it optimized for SEO and help your website continue being found. And the last pillar of my program is called Embodied Support. And so embodied support is all about showing up really like a rock star for yourself, your current clients, and your future clients. And strangely enough, having this superpower messaging and turning your website into this client attracting machine is a way of also offering this support, because when you have a website that is offering value to clients before you even meet them, you're giving them something like they might see a blog you have written about how to, forgive yourself or how to stop beating yourself up. And it might be, life-changing, or at least change their mood in that moment, or get them to think differently about themselves. And it's also something that might make them really want to work with you as well, if they're your ideal clients. When we are supporting our current clients, we also are, increasing that client retention and getting them to come back to us, as well as, encouraging them to maybe refer friends or other people to us. But we have to also be really supporting ourselves in this process, setting boundaries with things like our time, our marketing, the hours we're working, our rates. So support is such a huge part of this, and they're all kind of tied into each other. So if you are interested in learning more about really how to turn your website into a client attracting machine, I encourage you, or all of this, and building a practice that really supports you. I encourage you to reach out. I'll put a link to a call to schedule a free call with me. No pressure. It's 45 minutes, and at the very least, I believe you will learn something and get something from it. So would love to chat with you, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for being here.